Hey guys, it's Catherine and you're watching CUKpop Today, and I'm gonna be reacting to Sistar's Lonely, and this makes me doubly sad because we all know it's Sistar's last song, but it also makes me sad because it's called Lonely and it makes me think of 21, and that's just sad. Quick disclaimer. If I do yawn during this video, it's not because I think it's boring. It's not because I have other things to do. I am just very tired. I did not get much sleep last night. So, if I yawn, I apologize right now. I hope I don't. I probably won't. I will most likely cry. But Sistar's Lonely. Let's go. Woo! Going out in heels like they should. Dang. They really going for that ethereal look. What's that I'm looking at?
처럼 가까웠지 Close and close 갑자기 차가웠지 주된 분위기는 점점 싸늘해졌죠 화내고 소리치고 파도가 치는 절정 또 아무렇지 않은 듯 넌 꿇어앉아 진심이 아닌데도 받아주고 끌어안아 조금만 괜찮아지
I love hearing her voice. You really hear it. And they all look so young. It's like they almost like went back in time to their first, days, to their early days. Oh my god. No, not the picture. Wow, they really went for that like faded white look. Interesting. Oh, that is such a beautiful picture. The Parisian, the Venetian. Oh, Sistar for me was one of those groups that, I didn't come in, on their debut. Obviously, I haven't been into K-pop for that long. But for me, they're more like a summer fun group. So I don't have all the memories of, you know, their ballads or their more serious songs. I don't have like the full-on like experience that a true Sistar fan does have. One of my friends, he's not a K-pop fan. I mean, like, he's a light K-pop fan. He gets into some of the major groups, but it's not like he follows them everywhere. He'll listen to some of their hits. But one of the groups that he really got into was Sistar. And he loved their look, he loved their sound, he loved like each of the members. And he was just devastated when Sistar announced that they were disbanding. Like, I mean, he kept texting me and he would say to me like, Catherine, like, I'm so sad. Just like in the middle of the day, randomly, like we'd be having a nice time, we'd be laughing or whatever, and then he would just kind of sit back and be like, wow, I'm really sad. Like, he would be constantly thinking about Sistar. And he is not a hardcore K-pop fan, he's a hardcore Sistar fan, but he hasn't been, you know, with them since the beginning, but he still feels sort of the pain that I think Sistar fans feel right now. From my perspective, I feel like this is a really good move for all of them. Not that they couldn't slay it, and they, you know, they could still do the damn thing. I believe like 5-6 years from now, like they are so talented, so good, and like such a strong group together. Like, women are very different and they're very particular. And so putting them in a group, especially, you know, girls like Girls' Generation, Kara, Tiara. So women like that, like, it's very hard for everyone to get along. And I'm not saying Sistar was always peaches and cream and, you know, fine and good. I'm sure they fought. I'm sure they had their little beefs. I'm sure there was some drama sometimes. But it just felt like they were a sisterhood and they genuinely loved each other, and I hope that they continue to do so. I hope this isn't a 4-minute situation where they, you know, they do their last song or their last concert and then they split and they never talk to each other. They kind of lose contact, they kind of almost block each other. So I hope that's not what happens with this. And you can see the sisterhood in this video, like, even with simple things, and this isn't just with women but just friends, like good friends with them. Like, just, I mean, when you have good friends, you're all in the hotel rooms together, you're all on the bed together, playing your weird games, doing goofy stuff, dancing, singing. We've all been on that trip, or, you know, with friends where, like, we're in a hotel and, like, you are hanging out in the hallway where you're way too loud and you're way too wild, but you don't care because you're with good friends and you're just having a great time. And just stuff like that throughout this video. I don't know, I felt like this was genuine Sistar. This wasn't kind of staged, oh, let's show them that we can have a good time, when in actuality we all hate each other. I feel like this was really like, they love each other and they really care about one another, and they'll follow each other throughout, you know, their separate paths. And I believe Soyu and Hyolyn are staying with Starship as singers, and Bora and Dasom are going on as actresses. I believe that's how it is. And I really support that, and I feel like this is a decision that Sistar made, and it didn't have anything to do with Starship. Now, you know, Starship was probably like, what? Say what now? Like, you're not renewing contracts, you're not staying together? Because Sistar is like one of the groups, one of the artists that helped build Starship. I mean, they've been around for 7 years. Like, they saw Starship rise, and it was because of them. Sistar is everything to Starship, and so Starship was probably really bummed and tried to keep them together, but I feel like the 4 women just felt like this is what we need to do if we want to stay as great friends as we are right now, and it's what we need to do just for ourselves. I feel like it was just more of a personal thing, like, I want to pursue acting, I want to pursue a solo career, you know, like, I don't know. I am all for this disbandment. I'm very sad, and when I heard the news, I was like, stunned because it's Sistar. Like, who thought Sistar was gonna disband? No one. Like, that was crazy. We all saw Kara coming. We all saw 21 coming. Like, some members leaving some girl groups was a shock, but you kind of felt it coming. I feel like so far the only one that is still kind of a shock to me is 4 Minute. Like, I didn't see that coming at all. I don't think any of us did. Like, that was insane. But yeah, Sistar, like, we were all ready for their summer bop. We were like, yes, Sistar, what you gonna come out with this summer? It's almost here, let's go. And then they're like, we're disbanding. So definitely a bomb dropped on all of us, and I was definitely in shock, and I was very sad, just because more for the idea of the girl group rather than Sistar themselves. Again, I like Sistar, but I'm not a hardcore fan. And so I'm not exactly sad because Sistar is disbanding and it's Sistar, and, you know, it's kind of like, I'm not sad for Sistar. I'm just sad because we have no more, you know, girl groups. Like, we have Brown Eyed Girls. We have Tiara's coming back with, you know, some member changes. I mean, I'm sure there are some other lesser known girl groups that have stuck through it, that have stayed through the 7-year, you know, thing and are still going. But like, pretty much everyone major or anyone that mattered is gone, is disbanded, and within the span of like a year. So it just makes me sad that like that happened. But I don't know. Going back to what I was saying about this being Sistar's decision and not Starship's. So a lot of people on Twitter were very angry and were like, how could Starship do this? Starship neglected Sistar. Like, this is all their fault. The company is always wrong, blah, blah, blah. Like, a lot of people are hating on Starship, which I understand. Like, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And I'm not saying that Starship, you know, at any time in Sistar's career, you know, totally treated them with, you know, 100% the utmost respect, or gave them everything they wanted or needed. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm sure there were some faults there. But I honestly don't feel like this is a situation where Starship is at fault. Like, I feel like Sistar sat down with their CEOs, with the presidents or whatever, whoever, and were genuinely discussing it between themselves and like, should we do this? Should we keep going? Should we sign, you know, a contract for another 1 year, 5 years, 7 years? Like, and we don't know how long the contracts are. So while they might have been willing to do Sistar for a couple more years, the contract might have been like 5 to 7 more years. Like, that's a long ass time, people. That's, oh my gosh, that's 12 to 14 more years. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that we don't know, but I never felt like this was Starship's fault. I always felt like this was Sistar's decision willingly, all 4 of them. There's not one of them that's like, oh, I wanted to stick with it. I wanted to stay in Sistar. Like, I feel like they were all like, we're good. Like, that was a great 7 years, and they're happy for it, and they're gonna own it, and they're proud of it, and they're proud because they gained so many fans through it, and they love their fans. But it's not something that, you know, they want to keep doing. So I don't think Starship is really at fault. Like, to be honest, I think it was just Sistar's decision, and I respect that. One thing I will say though, which it might throw a wrench in everything that I just talked about, but I do think it's interesting. I don't know what kind of connection I could make with this, but I do think it's interesting that Sistar chose to disband and not like just take a hiatus. Like, why did you need to disband? Why couldn't you, oh, Bora Dasam, you want to do acting? Okay, go do acting for a couple years and then we can come back. So you, Hyolyn, you want to go and sing on your solo careers? Awesome, more money for us. Go and sing on your solo careers. So that part, the fact that they didn't just take a longer hiatus, like they usually come back once every year, you know, you can get burned out. That's a lot. So I would understand if they were like, you know what, we gotta take a couple years off, do our own things, we can come back to Sistar and discuss. But they chose to disband. So I don't know if maybe that was because 2 out of the 4 just really wanted out with the company. They were just like, we're done with the company. We want our own, either just to be our own people, or they want new agencies. So that could be a little drama in there, because it's not like they all stayed with Starship but are separating Sistar. Like 2 of them left. So maybe there is some beef. There is something they didn't agree with, and then once their contract was up, they were like, bye, see ya, like, good, I'm leaving. But I don't know. So I thought that was interesting, and it really bummed me out, because I'm like, guys, like, you didn't need to disband Sistar. Like, just take a hiatus, just take a break. Like, we can wait. In the comments below, tell me your thoughts and opinions on this video, this song. I didn't really talk about the video and the song. Oh my goodness. The video was interesting because there was definitely a hue and a tint on it, and I didn't really like it. Not that I didn't like the video or the message of the video, but just like I didn't like the coloring, and you could definitely see it. For some reason it really popped on Hyolyn. Like whenever they showed her, she just had like the most ethereal, angelic like glow, and you know, something that's not natural. I'm not just saying like, oh, she had too much makeup on or whatever. Like, she didn't look natural, and it was very hazy, faded, and you could see it at the end when they were taking the picture. So that I didn't actually like. I would have rather they just shot it in like real time with like a real camera and not a lot of fake editing. Obviously you can like put up the colors or, you know, make it darker or whatever, but to like actually edit their faces and almost make it look just too smooth over and photoshopped, I didn't like that. The song was beautiful though. The song was really pretty, and I've read the lyrics for the song. I don't know why. I think I was scrolling through something on Twitter and I read them, but it's beautiful. It's so perfect. So I love the song. I love the song so much, and I think they came out with one other song, so I'll have to listen to that. And like this video, subscribe, follow me on Tumblr and Twitter. Those are down below. And thanks for watching CUKpopToday, and have a good day.